I get to use my new shade. And hopefully I get to fit a carburetor to this engine. Hi, I'm Russ. I'm rebuilding a 1977 Mobile Traveler motorhome. This is all about the MT and me.
You're out here awfully early.
Yeah, you know, when we got up it was 80 degrees and it's more than that now, and we're going to have a heat index of 110 or more in just a few hours, so I figured we'd get an early start, get what we need to do outside done, and call it a day.
Good idea.
So I came out here to work on fitting the carburetor, and I noticed this is cool.
What you got?
Well, a few videos back when I was under Pearl working on the starter, I noticed this diaphragm system here. It had a vacuum hose going to it, and I was trying to figure out what it was. I got back up here and got to looking. It's the cruise control. So this end of it right here is what sets your cruise on the carburetor.
And you figured this out all by yourself?
How about that? Yeah, so once we get the carburetor in place, this will be one of the attachments I'll have to make to it, the little arm that goes to this. So that and the vacuum hose, I think, attaches to it. I'm really not sure. It's going to take some more research, but at least I know what it is now. So
that's cool.
But it's all moot until I get a carburetor on there. Speaking of which,
I'm proud of you for figuring it out.
Thank you.
That's at least a silver star.
Speaking of which, I have my little rainbow-colored template here that I made even a few more videos before I worked on the starter. Some of you may remember that. We're going to take it. This is one of the gaskets that came with the carburetor. So it's exactly the same size as the bottom. You know, before I do this, I should probably cut this template down to actually match the top of the manifold.
It doesn't match the top of the manifold?
Well, no, it's a little bigger. So.
Oh, I see what you mean. There's like, you haven't cut the outside edge.
Right, exactly, okay. That part. So.
Okay.
So.
You want me to go get you something to cut it with?
That would be very helpful. Thank you.
Right. While I'm gone, you're going to draw it off?
Okay, yes.
Okay. That looks very good. You did a good job on that. And proof I love you, I brought you my good scissors.
Ooh, thank you.
Well, my good paper scissors, anyway.
Good scissors.
Deep concentration here, folks. Look at that furrowed brow. That worried look.
Trying to get the holes cleaned up. Alright, so that's closer to the size we need. Lay this. Remember, the gasket here is a duplicate at the bottom of the carburetor.
Okay, so now you have to trace one onto the other, right?
Yes, I need to trace the outline of this onto my template.
Now you're actually lining up with the holes in the middle, not the post, right?
Exactly, yeah. Using these points to center.
You're going to draw off the inside of that hole too, right?
We get the outside, the inside, and also each individual corner piece. So I'm going to start with those, as a matter of fact. So this is showing how the bottom of the carburetor is going to sit in respect to the manifold. with these holes being where the posts are, and these little circles being where the holes on the carburetor are. As you can see, there's a problem. So, I think I'm going to set up outside over in front of the workshop, see if I can't get the notches cut on that carburetor.
Cool. What are you doing?
Well, thought I'd get the weed eater wound up so we could get out here, and the yard's getting so high, so tall, it's got to be trimmed, and maybe before the heat really sets in today we can get a little bit done.
But you said you were going to work on the carburetor.
Well, yeah, I know I said that, but some things take precedence.
Yeah, well, how about if I do the yard while you do the carburetor? Because quite frankly, I'm sick of hearing about this carburetor.
You just want to shut me up, don't you?
Oh, yes, I do, and I am not the least bit ashamed.
All right.
But seriously, it's the only day of the week that you're home when it's still cool enough to be out here working. So it makes sense for you to work on it now.
Well, I tell you what, let me get all this set up for you. I'll give you the weed eater, and I'll go to work on the carburetor.
All righty.
All right.
Oh, hey, after you do the carburetor, will you help me sharpen the reel mower?
Yes, because I finally got sharpening compound.
Yes.
Yay!
Oh, and just for the closed captioning, reel is spelled R-E-E-L.
Not the real mower, the real mower. It mows reels.
We love watching the way the closed captioning software does our closed captioning for the videos, because my name is just...
We never know what your name's going to show up as.
Yeah.
I never realized there were so many ways to spell re. The latest, I think, what you got, like R-H-Y-S?
Yeah.
Like John Rhys Davies, you know? So, you just never know, do you?
It's fun.
Yeah. The software is remarkable, actually. I don't want to diss it too badly. It's some amazing stuff. But it does have some humorous limitations sometimes.
One of these days when I have time, I'll go in and do the corrections. Because you can do that.
Yeah, and see, I didn't know you could do that until you informed me, I guess, last week, maybe, that...
I didn't know you could do it until last week when I informed you. I wasn't withholding that information, trust me.
Well, okay. So, all you need now is a very long extension cord. I have one of those right over there.
Cool.
Let's go to work.
I'll get the extension cord. You get the carburetor. You are not procrastinating this any longer.
Okay.
I got it. I'm also going to set you up on the tripod.
All right.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
So, we have carburetor. We have the template I made. First step is going to be to mark on the carb the areas that I need to trim out in order to expand the holes to fit the pegs that are on the manifold. I know that sounds kind of complicated. Stay with me, because seeing is understanding, and I'll show you what I mean. There's one spot that really has me concerned, and that's right here. If you can see the shaded area, it's right next to this little extension on the carburetor. I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to cut that out and widen that hole. I have an idea, and I'm going to give it a try, and we'll see if it works. These others give me pretty good clearance to trim the holes. I should note this aluminum is about ½ an inch thick, so it's going to take a while to cut through, I think. I've never done this before, so let's see what happens. that's got these 3 corners. Now this is the one I was worried about. I'm going to have to kind of cut in right below this little extension here, and hopefully I can get that hole large enough for the post to go in. We're about to find out. Okay, all 4 corners are cut. Now the moment of truth. We'll take it inside the manifold and see if it's anywhere near fitting.
Hi.
Hi.
You ready for this?
No.
First of all, let me see it.
Okay.
I haven't seen it yet. I was weed eating.
You can see the cuts I made
Oh,
all
yeah.
4 corners.
They look good.
Using the little zizit tool, it worked very well.
You didn't quite round your... You got little points on each one.
I'm figuring that they're going to need some brushing up. I just want to see if it's anywhere near fitting on here.
I have a good file you can use for that.
Well, let's see what happens. Well, it's not dropping down on there. So I need to make these slots come straight out so that they are as wide as the mounting hole is. And this is the only one that I really can't widen anymore in this direction. I can do it that way though. But these others, I can go back and make them a little larger. So that is what we'll do. Okay. Yay. And now we go try it again. So I think I need to enlarge this gap and this gap, and maybe that'll give me a fit on here. I'm not sure yet, but I'm going to give it a try. Back to the grinder. You know, they say the third time is the charm. We're about to try a third fitting and see how charming it is. Still almost not quite.
Can you get one side or the other?
Yep, I can get one side or the other. Getting them both is getting tricky.
You're about to reach a point where you don't have any metal left to catch to hold the carburetor down.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. Well, it's sitting in place. The butterfly valve appears to be working. It does have a lot of play in it. So the question now will be fastening it down securely in the spot where it should be. Always something.
Can you put a little aluminum fill in there? Because, I mean, they make those aluminum welding rod things that you just use with a blowtorch.
Either that or I'm thinking I might be able to get something to go over between the posts, kind of to bridge over this part of the carburetor and this part.
I thought you were going to put washers down anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to have to put washers down, definitely. So I went in and I cut out some center area like we were talking about. I guess I got too much because now it's got all kinds of play back and forth on it. So,
well, you already had all that play there.
Yeah.
Because you had cut so much out of the other side.
That may be it.
That's what I was trying to tell you, that you were cutting away so much on the outside that you weren't even touching the post anymore.
Yeah.
You were cutting in the wrong area.
Next time I have to cut up a carburetor base, I'll know better.
Yes, you will.
And so, we have the carburetor sitting in place, finally. There's clearance for the butterfly valve to work. We'll have to put some washers or other braces here on all 4 of the posts so that we can secure the carburetor down. But we knew that was going to happen anyway. So, the carb is sitting on the manifold. And I, for one, feel a lot better just about that. While I'm out here doing engine-related stuff on Pearl today, I'm going to clean up her old spark plugs and put them back in. Now, when the time comes, of course, I will put new plugs and probably new wires on her and everything else as well. But for the purpose of getting her started, getting the engine running, the old plugs are in great shape, and I think they'll do just fine. So I'm going to give them a good cleaning, and we'll put them back in. Alright, plugs all cleaned up. We get the socket and get them back in Pearl. Yeah. Spark plugs are back in, although Pearl's engine is still a long way from turning over and using them yet. The carburetor fits, it's got its spot. Now we have to figure out the best way to mount it down on there and get it sealed up. But I think that is for another day. One more thing I want to get done this week is sharpening the reel mower. Yeah.
All right. Need a hand?
I don't know yet. Let's see if we can...
Thing don't weigh anything.
No, it doesn't.
Hard to hold this and look at that at the same time.
Voila. All right. Wheel comes off. And we don't want to lose that. Because that's your...
You might want to hang on to it then. That's your what?
It's the, it's what makes that work.
Well, why don't you set it over there for now?
Well, because we're going to need it, I think, to put a socket on there and turn this. Otherwise, I don't have anything that'll grip that.
You don't remember what it was?
I remember what this is. I say it's 17 millimeter.
Okay.
Yes, turning it backwards. All right. I've got the lapping compound open, and it went everywhere whenever I opened it.
Naturally.
So let's see if I can clean off the cap there a little bit and get this squeezed
So
out.
what are you using there?
This is valve grinding compound.
Turn it around so I can see it. Angle it down. There. Angle it down. No, don't lower it. Angle it. Okay. I'm giving you a hard time. Go ahead.
Turn yourself upside down and read it backwards.
Anyway, you got this at
AutoZone.
AutoZone.
Got this at AutoZone. Now this is some interesting stuff because the grit changes as it grinds. It starts at 120, and as you progress, it slowly increases or decreases. No, it increases. How do you put it?
It decreases the size of the grit.
Yeah. The grit size wears down to 220. Anyway, it goes from 120 to 220 as it goes along, which I think is just really interesting.
Just dab.
Dab it along as we go.
Right. You don't have to put it quite so thick. Just cover the tip.
Funny, you can tell how gritty this stuff is putting that plastic cap back on where it's on the threads. Yeah, it just feels like sand. Okay.
What you thinking?
Looks like most of our paste is off the edge. So let's reverse it and try the paper test.
Go for it. It's catching.
Yeah.
That one blade that's too low.
Yes.
I think that we need to reshape that one blade that's too big and causing the rest of them to be out of sync. And that's going to take the Dremel and some time, and I'll get out here and work on that. But in the meantime, it's hot. Let's go inside. And we're going to say that this project is on hold for now. How's that?
Hi. So we gave it our best shot here, and yeah, we'll come back to this and do some more work. See if we can make it. We'll get it sharpened one way or the other.
Yeah.
So, in the meantime, that is going to be it for this week. And despite the failure on the mower here, we got a lot done. I have a carburetor that sits on top of my engine now, and I'm just proud as peach about that.
Yeah.
Maybe next time around, we'll see about securing it in place. But for now, that's going to be it for the MT and me this week. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Be sure to like and share this video and give us a thumbs up. Below there's a link where you can buy a coffee and help fund the MT and me restoration project. If you feel like you can help, we'd love for you to do so. Be sure and be back next week. Ree and I will be back once again to work on Pearl and maybe a lawnmower and who knows what else. You just never can tell. So don't miss a moment. Till next time, I'm Russ. Ree is behind the camera, and we'll talk later.
Cool. All right. And
Here
just because we haven't had any in a while, let's do some tree footage.
Yay.
Because we like trees.
It is so pretty with the evening sun in it like
Yes,
that.
it is.
It really is.
Yeah. We heart trees.